All right, good morning, guys. I'm giving my own opinion. I want to give my own opinion about the political interference um, in the 2019 presidential election, which was slated to hold today. All right, so here's my own perception to it. I actually believe that there is no political interference in this because I'm trying to look at why would Buhari decide to postpone the election? Is it to his favor, right? Because looking at it, looking at it carefully, we see that he doesn't stand to gain anything if he postpones the election. He does not stand to gain anything. In fact, I see it as a way of frustrating the efforts of the electorates. For example, a lot of these electorates, they've actually gone as far as their hometowns where they registered for their PVC to go and vote. Now imagine you postponing the election and having those persons still travel back to Lagos or wherever they come from and still go back again next week. You know, a lot of persons might just give up on voting and all. And we all know that in this election, every vote counts. Whether it's one vote, whether it's two votes, every vote counts. So imagine people that have to go through that, traveling and all. I know, yeah, there are some persons that they don't care, they would go because they really want to make their vote count. But there are a lot of Nigerians that, you know, work, stress, and all might just stop them from voting. So I think there's a very big disadvantage in this issue, but I don't believe. I repeat, I don't believe Buhari or APC or PDP have a hand in this. They could, I don't want to doubt that, but I don't want to believe they do because I'm still looking at what do they stand to gain. Probably if I'm told what they stand to gain, I might agree to them and all. So this is just my own opinion.
The thing is, if necessarily there were logistic issues or one or two happened, INEC ought to have decided to postpone this election probably 2 days to not hours to the election. It's a very bad situation in this country. And one other thing I noticed that, just like I said earlier, there were political interferences, and probably INEC just tried to avoid some kind of, how would I put it, man? Some kind of lapses, so they will prove that they are credible and everything. I know funds have been released earlier before this time, so there's no excuse for them to say probably they were not funded on time or anything. But this thing is just shows and tells us how unserious we are in this country. You get my point? How unprepared we've always been in this country. We've not been prepared for anything. And for a crucial election like this in this 21st century, this kind of thing can never happen in the Western world. We have to try to emulate those developed countries. If we still do this, the last presidential poll, which was in 2015, same thing happened. This another thing. So how are we going to stand? And we're saying international community should not interfere in our elections. If they have to, for us to know what is right, for us to do what is right, then let us invite them in. But if we know we are capable to do all these things ourselves, then let us sit straight, let us think straight, you get, and do the right things on time. But this is a shame to the country, I'm telling you.
For me, any thought of political interference in the postponement of the 2019 election, I feel is uncalled for because based on what the INEC, I want to believe what INEC officially are saying on their Twitter page, it is down to logistics problem. If you look at the recent instances of fire burning down their offices with election materials in there, and also the PVC reading machine, the PVC reading machine, more than thousands were burnt. So how do you expect them to cover up for that loss within a short time? It happened the same week the election is supposed to happen. So I feel the logistic excuse given by INEC is really true. The stories about political interference in any of this matter. I feel it is just to blow up the issue, and each party is trying to make the other um, call people for something I feel they are not at fault for. There's no evidence that PDP were the one that went to burn the offices, or APC were the one that burnt the offices, and nobody has been picked out as the culprit for how these offices were burned. So the political interference in the postponement of 2019 general election, I feel it is uncalled for. So I want all Nigerians and electorate rather to be calm and read the lines well, and don't just believe what one political party is saying or the other, because this is the time where election violence can come up at any time. We need to be wise. We don't need to die for any one of them. Let's just stay calm. By 23rd of February, hopefully the election will hold again. That's my opinion.
Well, my own opinion, I don't really see any political interference. I feel INEC is an independent body, and they should do their stuffs without any interference. I feel if all logistics are not ready, they have right to postpone the election just for them to avoid any further complaint after the election. So that's my own little opinion.
Okay, it can be said as two sides of a coin because from my own perspective, from the yes perspective, because we know INEC is never independent, and we know no government will want to be unseated. So I think we should still give kudos to the previous government. But it can also be said as no, because few weeks ago and recently there have been cases of INEC offices being burnt and people's voting information have been lost, which makes some people disenfranchised. So I think it's either they did it politically or they did it not, but it is not done based on politics. But we know whenever two elephants fight, the grass suffers. Now people's plan have been spoiled, but I think Nigerians should still come out next week and still come out en masse and still protect their rights, vote, and neglect political party. Yes, God help us.
Uh, Actually, the big question is, or the big opinion is, the question that have been flying around currently is that do we actually believe if um, there was kind of political interference in the postponement of the election? You know, left to me, if you ask me, I believe yes, because the incumbent administration actually think they knew, as in it's something they know that they've lost already. So they will definitely do everything in their capacity to make sure they retain the power, they clinch to power. You understand? Now, take for instance the unusual experiences that has occurred in recent time because of this election. Series of INEC offices getting burnt, which on the normal circumstances wouldn't have happened. Now, it's just for you to understand that yes, we've got an undertone which has been playing this politics beneath, just to make sure that something like this happens. I believe when see, we don't need to go far. There is political interference in the postponement of this election. Thank you. Mr. Chixlan User.
Of course, the postponement of the general election definitely was influenced by some political party, because I feel a party is feeling like they've lost a particular region, or possibly they are still trying to look for a way to rig an election. Else, why would INEC postpone the election just hours before the election? So I feel he has some political undertone to it.